important in this game. Gap close for the Drow, which is also really important. But again, look at the wave clear that they have.
Misery, I honestly might just be dead. Gets the stun out, but there's the open wounds, and they've combined forces to try and get this kill. They need one more shot, and Shad will have first blood. Misery feeling like he's just so far from his Timber, and I mean, there's not really much Timber could. Clockwork taking a lot of damage over bottom. Aramis goes into the trees, multi-shot, one shot from dead. Now they focus on a Toby. He might fall too. Fortune's End, one more shot comes in from Pile Die. They get a kill down here bottom, and like we said, this lane is already very difficult.
This top lane is a mess. 6-minute haste rune bottom, so Chessy's going to get that one this time. Now Boom's in. Now Boom's struggling. He's going to go into the bounty rune though.
And bottom, Pile Die. Good gust. That'll keep Pile Die alive. They might actually be able to kill off Aramis. Ooh, steps into the Pit of Malice. But they still have the Fortune's End. Pile Die, not a lot of mana. And actually, I say actually twice. Now a third time, but they get the kill into Aramis. Meanwhile, Toby, he ends up dead with Chessy rotating over.
Lifesteal is going to be really helpful considering, you know, he can't really lane against the Timbersaw anymore, so he's going to be hitting the jungle anyway.
And then Toby, gosh, going down, and it looks like Aramis might follow Cogs, but
gets the,
let me just get marksmanship.
Yeah, gets the proc right at the end, and now Timbersaw's running into the jungle. They want to try and find Celery here as well.
Does he have any backup from this? Misery's sitting a little far back, but I don't know if Jibe needs the help. The Infest will probably keep Celery alive, though. I say that, but
he's fine. Gives them that extra HP regen, they invest as well. So got done at this 10-minute mark with taking towers. Like, where do they want to make the rotation? They're going to go mid on Chessy, though.
Avalanche comes through on a 3. Aether Remnant now lands as the Cogs pull him into the Aether Remnant. Aramis with Fortune's End, and they just don't have the damage to kill off this Clockwork in return.
Making their plays on the map is really difficult unless the Void Spirit's involved, right? And I'm really interested to see at what point they feel like they can definitely fight and be strong this game. A hook shot, mid.
Looking over, Mortimer's Kisses coming through. Looking to get this kill into the Oracle. He'll false promise himself. Chessy on the back lines. LSA that lands onto the Void Spirit. They have the Laguna Blade and the Dragon Slave to get the kill in a boom. Pile Die survives after the false promise. Coming around is the Timber. So Aramis gets tossed up into the air. He's in trouble. Purifying Flames gets the kill. Pile Die now on a killing spree. He's 3-0-3. Although, didn't the last Underlord go both?
No, hang on.
Scatterblast. Snapfire Cookie, or Fire Snap Cookie coming down on a Chessy. Mortimer's Kisses too. Chessy in a lot of trouble. And no false promise from Pile Die. Actually, just both die. Really well played by Viking. They'll head towards bottom to help Ace and Jibe. Dark Rift over bottom, and now they're going to clash in the mid lane. They've got the Silence out into Misery. Mortimer's Kisses coming through, as well as the Open Wounds out onto the Lina. They've got the Silence out of this Oracle. They take out Pile Die, so maybe I've cursed him in a way. Misery just walks away. They've got the right click damage onto the Snapfire. Multi-shot comes in. They get the kill on Celery. Now they look towards the back lines, pushing away Misery, but with the buyback from Pile Die, he's here to get the save. Shad
the Drow.
Double kill. They get the kill on a Chessy. They take on Aramis with the Laguna Blade. And moving forward is just this Timber looking over at Shad. He doesn't have the rest of the team immediately behind him. They just can't keep up.
He's very quick. They almost killed Misery at the start of that fight. I don't. Oh, this could be a good opening for Aramis.
It could have been, but they spot him, and now they've got the LSA to follow it up. The Timber Chain as well as the right click coming in. The Pit of Malice lands on a 2. Boom, moving forward, gets the Silence on an Ace. They'll look towards the back lines to go for the trap, but they've got the Silence out onto the Void Spirit. They get the kill on Celery. Now they look over at the Laguna Blade. The right click damage coming into the Essence Ring is used. They've killed off Aramis. There's 2 down on the side of Viking GG. Shad come over and will infest Boom to try and keep him alive, but they've got the Avalanche toss. That'll pop the Infest. They'll Dark Rift away, but they can't! Toby, he ends up dead before he's able to get that off.
Clumsy net.
They've got the Clumsy net. They look over at Shad. He's surrounded. Goes to right click Chessy, but won't be able to do so. It's a full team wipe in the favor of 5 men. All of a sudden, 11k lead, and we talked about how that fight could stabilize. And they're already coming over. I mean, the hook shot, Mortimer's Kisses.
Look at the Timber.
Third of the health gone, and now Jibe moves forward. They've got the Avalanche as well as the toss. The toss wasn't onto Aramis, but they get the kill onto the Clockwork. Now they look over at Chessy. They get the kill onto the Tiny, so it's ending up being a 1-for-1. They'll buy back on Chessy immediately, but they lose Toby. Timber chain forward on a Boom, as well as Shad. assimilates, trying to get some distance. Timber Chain, Shad taking a lot of damage, goes to the open wounds as well as the rage. Right clicks coming in from Ace. The bash is out onto the Timber Saw as well as the Aether Remnant. That locks up the Lina for a second, but look at this. Whirling Death, Avalanche Toss, Boom goes down. He buys back immediately. He's forced to buy back. Celery trying to make some space with the GG branch, but it's not going to make enough space. They get the kill there. They take him out. He buys back as well. So they're using a lot of buybacks. They almost get the kill out on to Jibe, but he has 47.5 regen per second. So they know that Viking GG can't exactly hold getting Roche. And all they can do here is wait for either an initiation or an attempt to go in for Roche. They've got a Rammus coming around the back. They're going to want to position themselves well enough to go against this. Cogs into the Pit of Malice. Right clicks on Rammus already from the high ground. You can see how much damage he takes from just one right click from Ace.
I mean, Jibe's just sitting here.
They're trying to spot this Clockwork, who's looking for a hook shot onto the Drow. Now they've got the Pit of Malice. Ace, Fortune's End, Avalanche Toss onto the Void, who's infested. And Astral Step, Aether Remnant looking for Chessie. He's surrounded by the Cogs. Astral Step out. So they're around this Tiny, but they've got themselves the False Promise. They'll get the kill with the Laguna Blade on a Boom. Ace has been surrounded. He's in some trouble. Pops the Manta on the run. Whoa, the stun! Not enough. Ace ends up dead. He doesn't have buyback, so now a lot of that damage might be gone for the side of 5-man. I don't know if it's going to matter. Purifying Flames finishes off Toby. They'll go after Shad. Purifying Flames on the right clicks now from Misery. 3 heroes end up dead without buyback. They've got the Avalanche as well as the toss onto Aramis, and they'll get the kill on the Clockwork. So it still ends up being a 4-for-1, despite the fact that they get the hard hitter of Drow out of the top of the network. Fire Snap Cookie stuns up Ace. Feels like with Misery having this much farm, like if Ace dies, they're kind of like still hit so hard, you know?
This is with Repair Kit.
Now with Repair Kit, they still can't do anything. The bashes come in. They've got the hookshot coming into the backlines on a Pile Die. He'll pop his Aeon Disc, or it will get popped. Pit of Malice is down. It's going to lock out on Jibe, but they've got the Mortimer's Kisses that are really just fired about the warfare. Laguna Blade hits on a Boom. They go for the right clicks on a Shad. They get the kill into the Lifestealer. Now they focus on the racks. The Timber Chain into the backlines with the Dissimulate being used by Boom, but the right clicks coming from Misery once again with the Avalanche Toss hitting on the Void Spirit. Now they look over to Rammus. They'll take out the Clockwork. Dark Rift back, but GG's being called. 5 men will take game 1 with a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, really well played by 5-man. I mean, they executed their draft really well. Viking were kind of always playing from behind in ages. Let me check.
Yeah, maybe, what, at first...
Usually will be able to join us and be able to commit to these fights. And it is Toby playing the Phoenix. I mean...
On Ace. He's got level 2 in the Blade Fury. This charge isn't exactly fast, so they spot it out. He goes into the Blade Fury, but he's just first blood. Okay.
I love the instant bashes after charge. Oh, it always looks so good.
Just off my glimpse. Avalanche Toss on Celery once again. Charge coming in from Aramis. Will they go for this? They're going to commit. Spear doesn't land. It looked like it was a little bit short of that cliff over there. Jibe is in trouble and will die. They get a trade. All the while, though, I think Ace is just being made so much space.
Toby hasn't had the most amazing time down in the spot lane.
Bottom. Ace getting charged. He already used that Blade Fury. They've got the swap. Boom. Has the Sonic Wave. They'll go with the combo off of Rammus.
Comes Tiny though.
But Avalanche Toss losing this Venge. Now they look over at Toby. You gotta understand that he's got no Supernova for 30 seconds. There's just no...
When did Viking change their logo? Maybe that's because the bad form is because of the logo change.
Looks like it's just you and me.
Who knows?
Fancy beating you here.
Is Ace looking for an Omni? Yeah, from the high ground. That really doesn't work out in his favor. That's such a commitment. A risky play. Sunray over. Now the Blink as well as the Scream. They've got the charge coming through on an Ace, but they get the kill on a Boom.
I just run away, sure.
All the way onto the Jug. He's got Blade Fury in 4 seconds. They get the kill onto the Egg. They take out Celery.
Toss in 1 second.
Survive this. Yes, Blade Fury comes in. He's got the Healing Ward. He'll survive. They go after Aramis. They've got the Ink Swell. That'll pop right on top of the Spirit Breaker. 4 heroes dead on the side of Viking GG. Very good fight from 5.
Builds a different item, whether like Halberd or something could be really good as well. I feel like this type...
Oh, they found Shad. Avalanche Toss. They've got the swap with the Medusa. Toss back. They've got themselves the Arena. Here's the Omni Slash. Soulbind comes in. Sonic Wave is there, but it really doesn't do all too much. They've got the Supernova, though. Highlight Die ends up dead. Ace loses his Aegis. Luna Blade was used. They go and put all this in on the Shad. They just can't get the kill onto the Medusa. So now they look over at Ace. So go to the Blade Fury. Jibe right here. Spear thrown. Doesn't connect onto a tree. Aramis moves forward. Ace trying to TP out. He'll do so. All that commitment, though, on...
I really don't know what Ace is going to build next. It's the big thing for me. 3 down, no telescope.
Find the opening. Now they get the Avalanche toss out on him. Boom. Blow him up. That's a big kill to get. They're going to look for this Phoenix next. Charge coming in, out on a Misery. They get the swap with the Laguna Blade on a Solari. They'll get a kill. They'll take the Venge. They've got themselves the Stone Gaze as well as the Soulbind onto the Phoenix as well as the Medusa. Supernova used. They start to back off. There's the charge. Jibe still fighting this. Supernova pops, right-click damage coming in with the Sunray. This isn't exactly going amazingly for 5-man.
He still has Omni
Toss, but
Slash.
look at the right-click damage coming in from Ace. Goes over to Shad, now over to the Creeps, back over to Aramis. A little RNG that kind of got Ace back into it with a kill. They've got the Silencing Swell on the run. Look over at the Phoenix, Avalanche on the Shad. Now they've got the Spear with the God's Rebuke. They get the kill to Toby. They look over at Shad. He's just the last one alive. Boom up in 4 seconds. That might make a difference in this fight, but out of mana, out of time. Swift Slash once again. They get the kill on a Shad. They'll take him out. It's a full team wipe for the favor of 5-men.
Great fight by 5-men. They finally find that fight where they don't go on the Medusa. They just completely ignore her and go on everybody else first.
Are going to be huge, especially 30 seconds without this Phoenix. I think they take the bottom center racks if Viking don't defend this well enough. And it's a difficult one to defend, I think. Backs off to the Healing Ward.
Yeah, they know the Healing Ward's there, but they can't get to
Avalanche
it.
toss, Celery in trouble. BKB's been popped by Chessie. Swift Slash onto the backlines. Now they've used the Stone Gaze. They have the Soulbind, the Silence on 2. The Sonic Wave comes through on the Ace as well as Chessie. Chessie's BKB is about to run out.
Good arena, though.
Arena wraps up 3. However, Aramis gets out with his ult. So they've got the Silence out of Chessie, but they have the damage to get the kill on a Chat with the BKB pop. Tiny trying to do some work here, ends up dead. They'll lose Celery. Omni Slash bouncing around. Now they've got the Swift Slash that goes over to Creeps. Ace doesn't do enough, and they lose Jibe. That is not what I thought they were going to get from this. Now that Supernova's down, they're taking the Aegis. This is going to go
the Aegis
so
come out?
bad. Oh, it's
so
a little
close.
early, but Ace, he still needs to run from this. He's got Swift Slash to work with, so I don't know if they'll chase. But that was very much feeling like a missed opportunity for 5-men in that bottom.
Physical damage, right?
It's
Yeah, it's
350%.
350%. And Deuce has
Yeah.
got split shot, so...
They've got the toss. There's the Dark Portrait doing a decent amount of damage on a Celery, and they have to deal with it first. They've got the
Where's
Arena
the damage,
with the Swift
though?
Slash coming through. Now they've got the Omni Slash bouncing at the backlines. They get a kill onto Aramis. They still aren't through this Mana Shield just yet with the BKB pop. They get the kill on a Celery with the Sonic Wave coming in through from Boom, as well as the Supernova from this Phoenix. Sunray round on the Chessie. They get the kill onto the Tiny as they also taking out Misery.
It's the same thing. They have enough damage to get her to like little mana, but it's not enough to kill her. And so Shad is able to just turn around with Stone Gaze and just gets his damage off. And now third Roche hit minimum respawn time. If it had spawned there and the Medusa gets Aegis, I actually think the game's over then and there.
Is the Abyssal Blade enough, you think? Dark Portrait on a Shad. Spear. That connects. Does he have a Swift Slash? No, it's on cooldown for another 10 seconds. The right click's coming
Shad's
in.
got
Gets
no
the
mana.
bash on the Shad. Shad's got no more mana. There's the Shivas. Yules. Can he survive? Ace. Swift Slash in 2 seconds. Trying to get the kill here on the Medusa. Goes for the Swift Slash. Gets the kill. Get for 100. 100 with no buyback. Laguna Blade on a Toby. That might just win them the game.
I'm really shocked they decided to try and stay around and farm there when we come back up again. Because you have to remember, this is their tournament life on Viking. Like, if they lose this game, they go out of the competition.
Celery dead. He's got buyback. Now they've got the silence out on Chessie. Boom moves in. Toby trying to throw some spirits to slow down this push. But this is Mega Creeps, and still 20 seconds left to go. Swift Slash comes in. There's the Supernova and the Sonic Wave coming through. Misery might die on this one, but Yules in the air, has the Ink Swell, doesn't die just yet. Finally falls, but the Abyssal Blade is used onto this Spirit Breaker. They get the kill on Toby, Celery, and Aramis. They're all dead without buyback. Medusa up in 3, but we talked about it. You go for the Medusa last. Medusa's last when nobody else is alive when Shad comes back up. They've got the toss back into the team. BKB's been popping. They've already got the disarm. Stone Gaze, Soulbind, Swift Slash bouncing around. They've got the damage onto Boom. They'll get the kill onto the Queen of Pain, and now it's just Shad against the world. Jibbe, Spear, he ends up dead. He's got buyback. He'll use it immediately. Avalanche, toss, Shad. Now without mana, Abyssal Blade comes in. The right clicks through. Shad ends up dead. Full team wipe for 5 men, and they take Viking GG out of this tournament. 6 in a row for Viking GG in terms of losses.
Wow. I knew I didn't agree with the logo choice. God damn. This is... Yeah, I'm really sad for Viking. They just committed everything to try and defend Mega.